And there we are, 4 o'clock Sunday Stories. Welcome, I'm Ernie Boxall, I am the storyteller, and this week I'm going to tell you some ghostly stories. As you know, I am the ghost guide at Tudor World in Stratford-on-Avon. I've been there about a year and a half now, and on 3 occasions I have had visitors to Tudor World talk about strange events that they've seen while going around the house with me as the guide. I haven't seen them, but I have seen the look upon people's faces. I've even had one man collapse on me. But last Wednesday, we had an 18-year-old girl. It was her birthday, and her mother had brought her along as a gift. Some gift, huh? As we went round, I knew that she was picking up things that the other people in the group were not listening to, were not seeing, were not hearing. And then we got to a room we call downstairs. Yep, you have to descend a set of stairs. And it's a particularly gruesome story of a young girl who frequented Tudor House in the 19th century and was caught, in the 16th century, and was caught in the fire of 1596. Blackened arms and legs. Lucy, her name was, collapsed into a coma, and with no one knowing much about the coma, her parents thought her dead and sold her body. Hi, Mary. Her parents thought her dead and sold her body to the local surgeon. You see, it did 2 years earlier to be made legal for surgeons to do autopsies on freshly dead bodies rather than dragging them up from the grave. And Mary's was one of them. Lucy's was one of them. Sorry, Mary. And as I was telling that story, I saw the girl frozen to the spot with her eyes wide open. And I just mentioned to her to say, have you seen something? And she said, yes, there's a white figure on the stairs. No one else saw it. I never saw it. But she saw something, a white figure on the stairs. I simply told her that it's possible, that it's happened, to accept it and to take it that she has a gift. When we went outside at the end of the tour, her mother came up and said, when we climbed the stairs at the other end of Tudor World, my daughter told me that her throat had gone really tight. And that was before I told them the story of the young man who had been strangled on those very same steps. Well, not those steps, because on the previous set of steps, the story is that many years ago, the local council wanted to pull the building down because the steps were unsafe. But a local lady, a Lady Bannister, donated £30,000 or more for the upkeep of the house. And so the house remained, the steps were renewed, but that story remains of the young man strangled on the 3 steps of the haunted staircase. Hello, Dave. Thanks very much for coming on. And if any of you are in Stratford over the next couple of weeks, from, where is it? The 19th, Saturday, I am becoming Erin the Wizard at Tudor World. I will be telling 20-minute stories, wizard stories, ghost stories to young children and their families at Tudor World. And then in the evening, I will be doing some ghost tours. But on the Saturday and the Monday, we will be doing Halloween tours. Ghost tours with a little extra, let's say. So if any of you would like to know more about the ghost tours, please let me know. Apart from that little lady, it's been a good week at the ghost tour. It's been a good week at Tudor World. We find that as the nights draw in, as the weather gets colder, as it perhaps approaches Halloween, we do get more footfall coming into the museum during the daytime. And last night was the first time that we've had 4 virtual sellout ghost tours. And that's people, maybe a capacity of over 15 or 16 people in a group going around the house at the same time at hourly intervals. And it's good to see, because with a big group, you can really get to play off individuals within that group and almost get other people in the group to laugh with you a little bit, at them a little bit, but also to join in the conversations. And we aim to make the stories of Tudor World both educational and entertaining. And hopefully over the past few weeks and the next few weeks, we've done that. So what else has happened? On the local scene, there's not been that much. It's been quite quiet. I have been working with some water people again, Kangen Water, to try and take the message out there. And it's interesting, because the more I learn, the more I hear about water, the more interesting and the more interested I become, but also the more fearful. I've become to hear so much more about the fluoride that was put into water from the tap. Now, whether or not it's still going in, I don't know. I'll check on that. But I certainly know that for many years of my life, fluoride was added to the water. And research is now showing that an accumulation of fluoride can slow the brain, which is one of the excuses I'm sticking to anyway. But it can also discolour the teeth, make problems with the teeth, which, as far as I knew, is one of the things it was added to help. But I didn't know that fluoride was in fact almost a carcinogen, a poison. That bags of fluoride have to be handled very, very carefully before they're poured into the water. Now, I'll let you know more about that. I want to do more research on that, but please check whether or not there's fluoride in the water. As I say, coming up will be the new programs at Tudor World, so get in touch if you want to find out more about them. But what about the political scene? And if you're not into politics, turn off now. What's happened in America has frightened me. As some of you may or may not know, President Donald Trump was hounded for many years about a Russia hoax or a Russia problem, collusion with the Russians. And part of it involved foreign agents, Russian spies, and a disgraced agent from our own MI5 actually making up stories that the press in America then ran with, and which led to what was called a Mueller investigation. It was, in fact, Mueller proved he had very little to do with it. It was a Weissman, a Democrat lawyer. It was his investigation, and it cost $30 million and involved 17 agencies, all of them working to perpetuate this lie of Trump's collusion with Russia. We now find out that the British spy, a man called Steele, was bribed with £1 million, $1 million, to corroborate the story that he'd told. And he didn't. He couldn't. It was unverifiable. And that tells you something about the way the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ have been working in America now since Obama left office. By my telling this, I am perhaps treading on thin water, but the facts are out there. He was offered $1 million bribe. We've also found out that 50 FBI, ex-FBI leaders, even intelligence officers, signed a letter to say that the Hunter Biden laptop was in fact a Russian disinformation project. And it was put out as a Russian disinformation project. And the press led with it being a Russian disinformation project. And Biden ran on it being a Russian disinformation project. They interviewed one of the FBI leaders now. And he did in fact say that if you'd have read lower down, the agents said that it actually wasn't. They didn't say it was actually a Russian disinformation project. It said it had all the hallmarks of one. But that was way, way down in the piece. And so it looks as if I might have been, taken off Facebook. So let me know, people. That's what's happening now. You tell the facts and you get taken off Facebook. Take care. Have a great day. Maybe I'll see you next week.